I'm on the air here from 9 till 12 every day. You have the opportunity to do something fresh and off the cuff. You also have the opportunity to completely screw up. And, you know, every now and then that happens. You're like, oh, God, I shouldn't have played that song.
Start wearing purple, wearing purple. Start wearing purple for me now. All your sanity and wits, they will all vanish, I promise. It's just a matter of time.
I usually think about the first song, and then I'll just take it from there. I don't map the show out before I do it. Something gets triggered by what you're listening to, or maybe somebody says something, and you think, oh, you know, and then you go running back into the library and you grab something else. KCIW and Morning becomes eclectic. I'm listening to music for different things, primarily the radio show, because that's where I get my kicks. The other thing I do is I work in film and television and the advertising world a little bit in music supervision. It's really about supporting the director's vision, I think, of how the music can help tell the story. I don't subscribe to that school of as soon as something becomes popular, then all the cool kids bail out. Play it because you want to play it, not because you think somebody else will like it or because somebody suggested you should. Quiet Village before that, from their silent movie release. I think glam music was when I first started to discover my own music rather than my parents' music. Seeing these guys dressed up, you know, as girls basically, the whole androgyny thing and the makeup and the clothes and the satin and the glitter and everything, that kind of blew my mind at like 13. And then the punk thing happened. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't really get it right at the beginning. It wasn't until I heard The Clash, a friend of mine gave me London Calling, and then I got it. You know, I just sort of bounced around from various jobs and careers and girlfriends and wives, and, you know, had this whole sort of very confusing life, I think, where I really didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I always lived in big cities where, you know, you couldn't really breathe. And when I got to Woodstock, they had the fall up there, and I'd never seen a fall before. It was sort of like I was waking up by seeing all this color, and as a result of that, I think I got a little bit of clarity. And also it was when I got into radio. Here we go. I was very nervous. I screwed up the first time I was on the air. But, you know, straight away just sort of realized that this was something that I could do, and people seemed to like the way I did it. This is Airborne Toxic Event. And the funny thing is it has no end. So I just sort of grabbed onto it, and it just really took my life in a different direction. When this job at KCIW became available, everybody in Los Angeles with a record collection applied for it. One day, my boss in Woodstock did something that kind of pissed me off, and I just sent the tape off. And all of a sudden, I was here like a week later. And we're going to play you a track from that right now, as Morning Becomes Eclectic continues. Well, radio in general sucks. I mean, let's be honest. Computers run everything. I mean, there's not even DJs there most of the time. We don't really talk about the industry anymore because it pretty much doesn't exist. But the great thing that's happening in music now is the DIY ethos. I think the technology has created opportunities for artists that they would never have had in the past. Somebody told me the other day there's 6 million bands on MySpace, you know. I haven't got time to listen to them all, that's for sure. Every now and then you hit something, you're like, wow, that's really interesting, and you listen to a little bit more of the song. The great thing about this job is that I can come on the air the next day and play that song straight away. There's no committee that tells me whether or not I can play it or not. Got a couple of live appearances scheduled for the program this week. Stephen Coates, a.k.a. The Real Tuesday Weld, will be with us on Friday. And I get bands playing in here a couple of times a week. So it's almost like I have bands playing in my living room. So I'm really spoiled. You know, a lot of times you'll have a band on and they'll be like, "You going to come to the show tonight?" And I'm like, "Well, you just played in my living room." It's like, "No, I'm good, thanks." You know, and you get a kick out of seeing something take off that you've championed. I mean, having said that, there's a lot of music that I champion that never takes off. So, you know, you don't get carried away with it. Track 4 on that one. I had a lot of jobs when I was younger that were really mind-numbing and soul-destroying. I've made plastic bags in factories. I've made concrete blocks in factories. I'm just really lucky. I consider myself somebody who has the opportunity to really express myself, which, you know, most people don't get that chance. I pretty much pinch myself at least once a week that I'm actually doing it. Sometimes you come to these places where you either jump or you say, "No, I can't do that." And there are times when I will say I'm not sure about it. One choice can take you over there, and another choice can take you there. Maybe one will take you down there. You know, you just really don't know. But I tend to just jump anyway. Bye.